What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out, a little bit belated, but I want to give a big shout out to Kev Hawk for the $5 donation via the Cash App. Much respect to Kev Hawk. He says that he enjoys the content and he's a longtime supporter of this channel. So much respect to Kev Hawk for showing love to this channel. You guys have really been showing a lot of love lately. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you guys for the love that you've been showing. Too Raw for TV. I really do appreciate it. And to all of you who have love for this channel, if you choose to, if you're able to, you can show love by either donating to the Cash App or the PayPal in the description box or in the pinned comment in the comment section if you choose to. Now, tonight we have what is a marquee matchup, in my opinion, when it comes to the top tier teams in the Eastern Conference. Now, to me, there are a lot of teams that are doing well, but I think they're pretenders. Um, but the Bulls and the Nets, I think either one of these teams could be an Eastern Conference finalist when all's said and done. So this is a significant matchup. Now, the first game, which was back on November the 8th, the Bulls actually overcame a deficit against the Brooklyn Nets. In fact, it was the biggest margin of victory that the Bulls have ever had in the history of their franchise. Now think about it. It goes all the way back to 1966. That goes all the way back to the Jordan years. Their 23-point margin of victory, I think it was 118 and 95, was the biggest margin of victory they ever had in a game where they were trailing going into the fourth quarter. But the Bulls outscored the Nets, I think, 41-17 in the fourth quarter. James Harden was a no-show, of course. Whenever he's going up against a marquee team, that tends to happen a lot. And that was that. Now, this is their second meeting, if I'm not mistaken. This is their second meeting this year. This game will be at the Barclays Center, I believe. And I hope the Bulls continue their winning ways. The Nets, I believe, are 16-6, I think it is, or 18-6. One of the two. I know they got 6 losses. They might be 18-6. And the Bulls, I think, are 15-8. So these are two of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And this is the strongest, in my opinion at least, this is the strongest I've seen the Eastern Conference since the late 1990s. This is the strongest I've seen the Eastern Conference since the late 1990s. If you can recall, in the 1990s, late 90s, you saw the exodus of Shaq from Orlando to the Lakers. Chris Webber left the Bullets, soon to be the Wizards. He went to the Kings. You saw some other players retire that played in the Eastern Conference. Of course, Michael Jordan, the Bulls, that team disbanded. So this is the strongest I can recall the Eastern Conference being since the late 1990s. Um, so you can't just run up the score against a bunch of bad teams anymore. I hope the Bulls win. Alex Caruso has been playing very well for Chicago as of late. Um, this is the best the Bulls have been since the Derrick Rose era. And, you know, I think Chicago Bull fans have something to root for, something to cheer for after a long period of time where, it wasn't much to talk about, wasn't much to root for. And then the disappointment, obviously, of when you go back to the Jordan era, and then once you got past that, there was the obvious rebuilding process, then the Baby Bulls era, then the little era where you had Eric Gordon, not Eric Gordon, excuse me, Ben Gordon and that team. Then the arrival of Derrick Rose. and a team that could have been a championship team, but alas, Derrick Rose suffered that career-altering injury where he was never able to quite reach that pinnacle that he was on, that trajectory that he was on. And then, of course, since then, there's been a lot of disappointment. Then you had, of course, the little experiment with Rondo and Wade. That didn't quite work out, um, you know. And now we're on a team that shows promise. Zach LaVine has become an all-star, borderline superstar. He's now joined forces with DeMar DeRozan, the mid-range assassin, the much improved Lonzo Ball, the energetic Alex Caruso, and now you have a squad that can make some noise in the Eastern Conference. And Kevin Durant thought that he could just stack the deck. Thought he could just stack the deck and make it be easy. You know what I'm saying? Thought he was gonna just stack the deck like a Golden Corral plate, a platter, and it was gonna be an easy thing. The media have been pumping Lakers versus Nets, and they're having to switch around now. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to acknowledge that other teams who have real GMs who know what they're doing, and they did it the old-fashioned way, which is piecemealing a team together, putting the right parts together instead of having your players try to be general managers and it blow up in the goddamn face, you know. And I don't have anything wrong with. I don't have an issue with Kevin Durant. I think he's sensational. I think he's a top 2 to 3 player in the league. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, and, Brooklyn hasn't dominated the way people thought they would. People thought Brooklyn was going to be this all-time great offensive juggernaut, and it hasn't come to pass. And even without Kyrie Irving, this team should still be, when you look at it, the team on paper, even though they do have injuries, I give you that. They've had setbacks, but this team should still be better than what they are. You know what I'm saying? They should be at least close to or not right at what Golden State and Phoenix are doing record wise. They should be like 20-3 or 21-3 or 19-4. They should be, even better than what they are right now. They should be dominating teams, but it is what it is. So this should be a good little marquee matchup. Um, I'm hoping that the Bulls are going to will win this game. If the Bulls are able to play their game, if the Bulls are able to win the rebounding battle, I believe if they're able to, uh, win points in the paint, if they're able to keep Kevin Durant from having one of those types of games where he shoots 55% or better, gets 35 points or more, James Harden is James Harden. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to keep him under 25 points and keep him on the foul line, then you have a good chance at winning the game. But that's all I got to say. Tell me what you guys think.